Coming up tonight, fresh details emerge in 350 Maslock vehicle scandal as GPRTU reviews the microfinance and small loan center rejected their proposal for purchase of specific vehicles fit for the operations.
If you look at the prices and compare that to market averages, the prices were outrageous.
We'll tell you how the cost of the vehicles were inflated by 18 million cedis as chairman of the NDPC describes government's decision to pay for the vehicles as fishy. Also in this edition, Auditor General Daniel Domelevo says he's prepared to go the long haul in the fight for a total independence of the audit service, adding that an out-of-court settlement is not an option.
Do I look like somebody who can be bribed? You can't come to my office with gift. A friend of mine, sorry for him, he came today and said he traveled abroad, he brought me a shirt. I said, sorry, use it yourself.
A shirt?
Yes, I said, use it yourself or give it to your children.
So if I give you a shirt, you accept?
I'm not going to take it.
We'll get to hear from the man who says he cannot be bribed. And in sports.
Later in sports, Asante Kotoko coach wants a win in their next group game to keep their hopes of making the next stage of the ongoing CAF Confederations Cup alive.
And in business, Energy Ministry highlights challenges with utility tariffs certain as one of the main reasons for ACG's takeover delays.
And as the excitement builds up towards the love ride this Valentine's Day, the maestro Kojo Entry is promising to help restore and firm up bonds of intimacy among couples.
I'm planning something. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it will be good. So I want people to feel special. I want people to come and hold back the show Dumudi.
We have all that and more coming up here on Newsnight. You may want to join us with your thoughts and comments via WhatsApp on 0244 340437. I am MFA Pau.
And my name is Evans Mensah.
And we settle for the details now because tonight's fresh details are emerging in the 350 Maslock vehicle scandal as the key stakeholders in the contract, the GPRTU, is revealing the microfinance and small loan center, Maslock, rejected their proposal for the purchase of specific vehicles fit for the operations. According to GPRTU chairman Kwame Kuma, they had an initial arrangement with Toyota and Nissan to supply the vehicles, but Maslock didn't consider their proposal. Now, although the vehicles were procured under the Eswal Mahama administration, the current government paid $13,500,000 or 66 million Ghana cedis for the vehicles, which are yet to be used. Manasseh Azuriawene spent the last 7 months investigating how various vehicles procured by the state have been grounded. In the first of the series titled Grounded Wheels, Manasseh reviews GPRTU has rejected the Maslock vehicles because the cost was inflated by as much as 18 million Ghana cedis.
In the National Security Yard behind the Accra International Conference Center, 350 vehicles procured by the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maslock, are parked with some of the saloon cars completely covered with overgrown weeds. The vehicles are made up of 133-seater Isuzu buses, 100 Chevy Sparklight saloon cars, and 150 Chevy Aveo saloon cars. Maslock procured these vehicles in 2016 for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, but the GPRTU rejected them. The Chief Executive Officer of Maslock, Stephen Amwa, says the Transport Union rejected the vehicles because they are overpriced.
If you look at the prices and compare that to market averages, the prices were outrageous. Those trotro buses and commercial vehicle drivers have their turnovers, the sales they make a day, and for that matter, any car they procure for that purpose should be able to work in that capacity and give them the sales they need to be able to break even.
Joy News, as part of this investigation, went to the supplier of the vehicles, Mark Autos and Spare Parts Ghana Limited, for quotations in August 2018, 2 years after the company sold the vehicles to Maslock. We found that the 2016 prices of the vehicles are lower than the 2018 prices, but our investigation revealed that the cost at which the company sold the vehicles to Maslock in 2016 is far higher than the cost at which it sold to the general public in 2018. In all, the cost of the vehicles sold to Maslog is higher than the market price of the vehicles by at least $3,750,000 or 18,375,000 Ghana cedis. Our checks with the Ghana Revenue Authority confirmed that the company did not pay duty on the vehicles it supplied to Maslog. According to the GRA, duty on the 350 vehicles amounted to 10,500,000 Ghana cedis.
Of course, Manasseh Azariah will join us shortly, but we can hear from the national chairman of the GPRTU, Kwame Kuma, who wants government to reduce the cost of the vehicles for its members if they want drivers to purchase it.
Answer car no be you know president I'm a president edit to him say see cars now offense mo say say mamo cars
Before the vehicles would be purchased, we met with the former President Mahama. The president inquired from us whether we needed vehicles and expressed the concern that we often do not pay for the cars when it's given to us on loan. But we indicated that they usually do not purchase the type of vehicles we prefer. We told him that's the reason why we are unable to pay the loans. The president promised us he would allow us to lead the negotiations on the type of vehicles we should purchase. The president added that Maslog would supervise the purchase of the vehicles. Prior to that, we had an initial arrangement with Toyota and Nissan before they suggested that there's a company doing that. So we made our intentions known to the then Maslog boss. We insisted that Maslog allow Toyota and Nissan to supply half of the vehicles, but our proposals were turned down. When they brought the vehicles, the prices were on the high side, and it made it difficult for us to accept it. We want government to reduce the prices so we could purchase the vehicles.
Well, my colleague Manasseh Azariah, who's been working on this story for the last few months, is in the studio with me. Manasseh, what type of vehicles are these?
These are buses, 100 of them, Isuzu buses. And then we also have Chevy Aveo and a Chevy Sparklight. These vehicles are like those that are often used for Uber, Taxify, and those kinds of services. Very small vehicles. We are talking about 350 vehicles in all.
I see. I saw the videos of this, and there was a drone shot of the vehicles outgrown with weeds, like they were parked almost in the bush, but on the premises of, I think, National Security.
Yes, the National Security has a very huge yard behind the Accra International Conference Center, and that's where they are parked. And actually, the time we went, I think this was in August of 2018 when we took those drone shots, and they've been there since 2016. They were actually parked at there's a space in front of Parliament House, but what we are told is that it was a nuisance, so they wanted to hide it from maybe the public, so they took it to that National Security yard, and that's where the vehicles have been.
Dump it, then forget about it.
Yes.
And the pictures really show we've forgotten about it. These are brand new vehicles. In what shape were the vehicles? Because I just saw the weeds and the bush, etc. But if you look into the glass, is the car looking like it's in the shape that it can be used?
Yes, it can be used. I think the cars can be used. These are brand new cars that were bought. We have paid $13,550,000 for these vehicles.
How much more to go?
Well, if you look at this amount, it appears that should be the full payment. But the company Mark Ghana Limited, when we wrote to them, Joy News wrote to them, they responded saying this price was given, or this cost was given with a discount of 2 million Ghana cedis, but the government did not pay within the stipulated period. So they wrote to government, the Ministry of Finance, and withdrew that discount. So from what they are saying, we still have about $2 million to pay. And I don't know whether the government would go ahead to pay back, because if you look at this, it appears it is up to the amount that was originally budgeted for this project.
What are the reasons given or that you establish why these vehicles are not being used or have been left to rot?
The main reason has been the price of each vehicle. What we did in 2018 was to go to the same company for a pro forma invoice, and the buses that are sold or were sold to Maslock in 2016 at a cost of $107,000 and that is what is quoted in the payment option here. We went, and then they were selling these buses for $79,000. So there's a difference of $28,000 per bus, and we are talking about 100 buses. It is also interesting to note that we're able to find out that this particular company did not pay duty on the buses or the vehicles that were sold to Maslock, because we got all the vehicles they imported into the country between January 2016 and December 2017. So we also got a list of the vehicles they sent to Maslock. When we decided to check, we realized these vehicles sold to Maslock were not among those that were cleared and on which duty was paid. So we went to the GRA to verify, and they said yes, no duty was paid. And that duty alone was calculated to amount to 10,500,000 Ghana cedis. So we are looking at a company that is selling to us at a higher cost than it would sell to the ordinary person. We are also looking at those vehicles that were sold at a higher cost. There was even no duty at all. So all of this makes it a bit expensive. And if you speak to the GPRTU, they will tell you that, look, if we take these vehicles at this cost, there's no way we are going to work and even break even, let alone make any revenue or profit from it.
Do we know why they didn't pay duty on the vehicles?
We are told that the Ministry of Finance actually wrote a letter giving them or granting them waiver.
I see.
To waive the duty, so that the duty was waived pending a parliamentary approval. The parliamentary approval did not take place. Interestingly, the contract, if you read the contract, Article 32 of the contract that was signed actually states that the company or the supplier is responsible for paying all the duties, levies, and taxes. So, per this contract, Mark Ghana was not even supposed to get a waiver. But for reasons we cannot understand, the Ministry of Finance then actually decided to give them a waiver.
Okay, so they got the waiver, and yet the prices were still very, very high.
Very high.
Okay.
And the reason for which we bought them, we cannot use them.
Because the prices are high, in spite of the waiver. Now, the Attorney General had a legal opinion, because when you said it, I'm like, okay, if we couldn't get a parliamentary approval, at least you can terminate that part of the agreement and recover the duties that they didn't pay. But however, it's not as straightforward as that. The Attorney General had opinion on what we can do with the contract.
Yes, I think the AG's opinion was mainly to advise whether or not the contract could not be abrogated.
Okay.
And from what I hear, the reason given was that this was a contract that was legally binding. We agreed to the terms, signed, the person delivered. So if you say you are going to refuse to pay, there are going to be problems. What some experts have said is that the government could have bargained, the current government, that's the NDC did not pay. All the payment was made by the MPP government. And this morning, Professor Stephen Adair also said it was a bit fishy that the current government had to pay, knowing very well, and they had every information because they also went for pro forma invoices, so they were very clear of the cost differences. That's what could have been done. But the duty that is yet to be paid, my sources at the Ghana Revenue Authority are saying that it would take the Ministry of Finance to write and revoke that waiver.
Yeah.
So that the
you can recover
GRA
the 10 million
go and then now take the 10.5 million. So we follow up to see whether the finance ministry would do what almost everybody is saying.
It sounds like something that can be done. And I'm also wondering, now the vehicles are sitting there, 2 years, grown with weeds, etc. Is there a part? Do you establish anything about whether? So GPRT says it can't afford it. So, what does government intend to do with the vehicles now? Do we know? Have they communicated that to you in the investigations at all?
When we spoke to the current management of Maslock, what they said was that they were trying to take steps to see if they could contact churches and other companies or individuals to see if the vehicles would be sold out. And yesterday I even had a chat with the Maslock boss, and he said they have announced, and those who would want those vehicles could come forward and then buy them. Now,
at discounted rates, or
for that, I'm told they have actually written to higher authorities in this case to be able to get a clearance to reduce the prices so they could sell them, because the procurement expert we spoke to in the course of this investigation actually said the fact that the vehicles have been left in the open for all these years, even if the prices were not inflated, then there's some form of depreciation on the value of those vehicles. So you wouldn't expect somebody who would buy those same vehicles at the showroom to want to buy them at the same price. I mean, those that have been left in the sun and in the rain for all these years.
Manasseh, I'm grateful for that. And this is not the last of this, right?
No, we also are delving deep into the Ayalolo buses, because some 245 buses worth over $60 million imported into Ghana in 2016 have also been grounded. And we are asking why.
Well, you want to stay tuned, because more in this week as far as the investigations are concerned. Manasseh, thank you very much.
And it's just the first of the series titled Grounded Wheels. But we can hear from the chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Professor Stephen Adey. And like Manasseh said, he's described it as fishy, the decision by the current government to pay the full amount of the vehicles. Professor Adey, who spoke on the morning show, said the current government should not have paid the full amount after realizing that the cost was inflated.
But I'm quite surprised, because I'm not a lawyer. But if a contract is clearly, as it appears, tainted with corruption, with about the price about 20,000 inflated
per bus.
Yes, I'm quite surprised that it's being paid at its face value, and the negotiation didn't make any difference. That's quite what's surprising. Is the contractual ones. I really am quite shocked that it's being paid on the face value, without anything being done about the taxes, about the inflated prices. But I don't have the legal power or ability. It sounds to me too fishy. And it's not only part being fishy in the past, but too fishy now.
Now, officials of the Ghana Integrity Initiative agree with Professor Stephen Adey, who is also calling for a thorough investigation to ensure that those involved to be dealt with or to face the full rigors of the law. Corporate Affairs Director of GII, Michael Bwedi, is demanding everyone who played a role should actually be held accountable.
So if we don't do that, people will take these decisions and get away with it. It is about holding every individual concerned with this transaction accountable. The one who took the decision, whether it went through procurement, and if it went through procurement, who approved such a procurement, and where are the other bids? Is there anything we can compare? I think we need to hold everybody accountable for this decision, because it is one too many things. These things are happening over and over, and it's not as if we are short of lessons to learn from. There are enough lessons that we can learn from. The developer sitting at ILDS is there. Meanwhile, not too long ago, we were crying for ambulances. Our schools don't have buses. Why are we doing this to the country?
And you're still listening to News Night here on Joy 99.7 FM. What do you make of that story, that investigative piece done by Manasseh Zuriawuni? Send me your WhatsApp, 0244340437. By the way, to the next story now. And do you recall that huge controversy in 2017 about the contaminated fuel saga that hit the bulk oil and storage transportation company? Well, it's back up in the news tonight because a new CEO of the bulk oil storage and transportation company, boss George Mensah Oakley, says his outfit has begun implementing the recommendations of the committee that investigated the fuel contamination saga. Now, in June 2017, Boss was widely criticized for selling 5 million liters of contaminated fuel to two unlicensed companies, Movimpina and Zuponergy.
Now, the Africa Center for Energy Policy at the same time said the transaction cost the country 7 million Ghana cedis in revenue. Now, responding to questions on the work of the committee, Ms. Oakley said the 5 million liters of contaminated fuel has been moved to Tor for refinery.
Based on the investigation done by senior committee on the OSPEC report, currently we are going to send the OSPEC product to Tor. We have paid the refined charges and the product will be moved to Tor. The OSPEC product was not sold to the market as it was reported when it was happening. On the crime that's being reported that I committed by we owing and I'm trying to pay, there's a dispute on it. The case was in court at the same time, so I was trying to settle. So based on the issue that was raised in the media, the board directed that we should leave the matter to be adjudicated at the court. So the case is in court, and I would not like to comment on a case that is in court.
So that's the new CEO of Boss, George Mensah Oakley. Meanwhile, the Deputy Energy Minister for Petroleum, Amin Adam, revealed that investigations were still going on for possible prosecution of the former chief executive. He was speaking at the Meet the Press series in Accra today.
The second report is from a committee set up by the president himself, which I chaired, and that was to look at the financial side of Boss operation, including the audit. We produced a report which was accepted by the president, and again, we have started implementing recommendations of the report. The financial issues in Boss were very serious, including transactions that are being investigated today for possible prosecution. And so I will not give details on that. But some of the transactions were done between Boss and Tor. You remember that we had one managing director for Boss and Tor at the same time. And it was during that time such questionable transactions took place. And so because they are being investigated for possible prosecution, I will not give details.
Okay, so that is information that we're hearing for the first time about the likelihood that the former head of Boss, who we know was removed by the president last year, I think, possibly may face prosecution, and he's just indicated that they've also found some additional questions about the tenure of his under his watch at Boss that they may be prosecuting. There was a press conference today at which all these became public. At the same press conference, we heard a lot about the ECG itself. Managing Director of ECG says any attempt to call for tariff increases due to ECG's debt will not be justified. Now, Engineer Boachi Appiah noted that the issue of tariffs will be settled by the PULC.
We have had some issues with some guarantees that was expected of the.
Just want to clarify that under the transaction agreement, the concessionaire is not taking on any liabilities. So, from that perspective, we do not expect that there will be tariff increase or decrease because concessionaire is taking on any liabilities. And we wish to emphasize that the determination of tariffs is the prerogative of the Public Utility Regulatory Commission, and they will handle that expertly. So whatever adjustments would come with the introduction of the concessionaire would be handled by the agency that Ghanaians have allowed or approved to do just that. So let us wait for PURC to make the determination before we can comment on whether there is an increase or decrease with the introduction of the concessionaire.
Okay, so as we talk about the concessionaire matter, today the Deputy Minister in charge of Power, Rick Wedu, gave an update on that. He says they have had some challenges with the company that won that bidding process, hence their inability to take over ECG as planned, because there is now, we know, a delay. He says partly the PURC is to blame for the delay that we've seen.
We have had some issues with some guarantees that was expected of the concessionaire, and that has not been ready. It's not ready. I cannot blame the concessionaire alone. We have had some delays also in the tariff setting by the PURC. That has also gone some way to not helping the concessionaire in providing the guarantees. So we are meeting again in a couple of weeks' time with the concessionaire for the guarantees, and after which a date will be set for the transfer from ECG to the concessionaire.
You're still listening to News Night here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll get to hear from the Auditor General, Daniel Domelovo, who says he's prepared to go the long haul in the fight for a total independence of the audit service, adding that an out-of-court settlement is not an option.
It's good we go to the court because the two parties, we don't understand each other. My version, my understanding about the independence of the Auditor General is very different from what the board thinks. I may be wrong, they may be wrong. So it's good we go to a neutral ground.
And as the excitement builds up towards the love ride this Valentine's Day, the maestro Kujuentri is promising to help restore and firmer bonds of intimacy among couples. We'll be right back after the break.
Superior services, your success our portion. 10 good years of loyalty, service with integrity, protective of our guardian brand. 10 years of excellence, 10 years of loyalty, your success our passion. Oh yeah, your success our passion.
Your success, our passion.
Hello, I say, I was now. Vodafone normal 10 megabyte free data. It will call smart Rubiadron. Share.
Hello, have you heard that Vodafone is giving 10 megabyte free data for every minute you talk? You just dial 50-50.
Yeah, hello? Aha! Right now, we the Vodafone people just they call plenty. Sake of us, you talk 1 minute, you go get 10 megabytes. You talk 2 minutes, you go get 20 megabytes. 3 minutes.
Call Vodafone or any network and get 10 megabytes of free data every minute you talk. It's simple. Talk to browse. The more you talk, the more data you get. Dial 50-50 to subscribe. Talk more, browse more. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
It's time to experience something different, unexpected, and definitely beyond banking. It's a new era at GCB Bank, Ghana's most welcoming bank, where we offer you a world of financial security, flexibility, and convenience. We swiftly serve you with over 180 branches and 300 ATMs, and provide e-banking solutions that make it possible for you to bank anywhere, anytime. When you need a personal loan, sooner is better than later, so we give it to you in 24 hours to make sure the experience is always memorable. At GCB, your opportunities are limitless and we keep you smiling at all times. We're bigger and better, ready to take you beyond banking. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
It's the year of the car owner with Enterprise Insurance. Just dial *714*556#. Choose update your details, follow the prompts, and voila! You are in for surprises that will make your head swell big. Surprises like mobile data, useful car insurance tips, and many more. Remember, updating your details even helps to speed up the claims process. Car owner, this is your year. Insure with Enterprise. Dial *714*556# and update your details now.
Enterprise, your advantage.
You're welcome back. Let's take some of your messages quickly before we go to George for business. This one says, good work done by Manasseh. The investigation should extend to Sedinam's predecessor, Betha Ansajan. She did worse. That's from Kojo in La. That's your message. Also, this one says, so Stephen Amoa and his group of people at Maslock who claim they came to protect the public purse went ahead to pay the prices of the so-called vehicles with inflated prices, as alleged by Manasseh, who did same about Zoomlion and had to back into his shell. A government with a whole procurement ministry couldn't do due diligence. May God help us. That's from Brima Kubaji Jinejene. Some of your messages. And this one also says, when baboons and monkeys heard that the man who used to chase them away from the maze had died. Okay, so some proverb there. And this one also says, listening to the report by Manasseh on the Maslock deal, it means a lot of rot took place under NDC. Indeed, even the finance ministry acted strangely in this vehicle deal. From Apia in Accra. Loads of your messages. We'll get back to them after business with George Riafe.
Hi, MFA. And of course, coming up in business, the Energy Ministry has been speaking about this whole agreement with respect to the takeover of ECG by this new concessionaire. I'll be getting you more details on that one. And MTN is accounts for more than 90% of the mobile money funds held with commercial banks. They're about 2.6 billion Ghana cedis. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you? Let's now settle for the details. And the Energy Ministry has highlighted issues with settling on new utility tariffs as one of the reasons for delays with ECG's takeover. Deputy Minister of Energy Orekwedu disclosed this when the ministry took a stand at the Meet the Press series today. There is more in this report.
The statement by the minister confirms an earlier report by Joy Business, which indicated that power distribution service wants to be assured of some utility tariff levels before they formally take over ECG. Speaking at the press conference, the minister said they are optimistic of reaching a favorable deal soon.
We have had some issues with some guarantees that was expected of the concessionaire, and that has not been ready. It's not ready. I cannot blame the concessionaire alone. We have had some delays also in the tariff setting by the PURC. That has also gone some way to not helping the concessionaire in providing the guarantees. So we are meeting again in a couple of weeks' time with the concessionaire for the guarantees, and after which a date will be set for the transfer from ECG to the concessionaire.
Sources say utility tariffs are expected to go up. However, what we cannot confirm is the level of increase. Speaking at the same program, Energy Minister John Peter Amewu announced that they are working to move the car power to Takoradi so that they can use the gas in that region to power it.
Programs are far advanced in terms of completion, and the completion date for this particular project is estimated 30th of July 2019. We should be able to complete that.
The Deputy Minister, Dr. Amin Adam, also announced some strategies to help turn around Tema Oil Refinery. These include using the oil from the 10 oil fields for its operations and some deal with the Nigerian government when it comes to crude oil supplies.
And that was a Business Desk report. Now, financial consultant Charles Mensah has expressed concern about the interest and the structure of the Ghana Amalgamated Trust corporate bond that will be issued very soon. Now, this was after the trust actually indicated that it would issue the prospectus this week and plans to raise the 2 billion Ghana cedis funds this week. Mr. Mensah says the managers might have to take a second look at how it is going about raising the funds and how it intends to pay off investors.
It is the quality of the returns, because you see, most of the banks, yes, we're booking profits, but profit out of the loans that they granted to companies. And some of these companies were not servicing the debt. That's why we are where we are. So the quality of the profits in itself was in doubt, because if the profit was sustainable and the quality of it was good, which means that at the time of repayment of the loans, it will be easier, quicker, and faster to get those loans coming through. You will not be writing off some of this huge thing against the balance sheet that has weakened some of these banks. As a result of that, we are bringing the GATT into being. My biggest worry is that GATT itself is going to be funded based on debt, and the application of that debt is going for equity. So I'm wondering why you raise a debt to go for equity.
Charles Mensah is a financial consultant. Now, telecoms giant MTN is consolidating its position as market leader in every area in which it operates. Now, figures from the Bank of Ghana shows that MTN has about 90%, more than 90% of the total mobile money accounts held with commercial banks in the country as at the end of December 2018. Now, the Bank of Ghana puts the total amount at 2.6 billion Ghana cedis. MTN has about 2.4 billion Ghana cedis, representing 93.3%, followed by Airtel with 98 million Ghana cedis, representing 3.7%. It was followed by Vodafone with 78 million Ghana cedis, representing 2.9%. Now, this shows that MTN indeed has consolidated its position when it comes to the mobile money business as well as other markets that it operates. Now, mining firm Anglo Gold Ashanti has rejected arguments that the planned contract mining program is just not in the interest of workers that will be employed on the Obuasi mine field. The Ghana Mine Workers Union indicated that they will soon be engaging the mining giant over its new employment arrangement. But officials of Anglo Gold have told Joy Business that engaging the workers on this contract was the best deal, looking at the current state of the mining area. And that's all for business on Newsnight.
Thank you very much, George. Let's take some more of your comments quickly. This one from Jagos from Sawam says, so now our minorities are teaching the CID and the police department what to do about the Ayawaso incident, whom I reserve my comments because our politicians are now trying to do the work of our secret service, and I leave it to us to judge. And this one also from Kwesi Brakwebri says, can Sam George sue the Ghana police and the national security for assault since everything is captured on tape? And this one from Pawili says, whoever imported those masks must be invited to explain the rationale behind it. Those masks must be set ablaze publicly before they are rented out to armed robbers.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll hear from the Auditor General, Daniel Domelovo, and he says that he's not interested in an out-of-court settlement as far as his feud with the board of the audit service is concerned. We'll also tell you why he believes he simply cannot be bribed and why they're taking action against two of his subordinates at the audit service who may have accepted gifts. He says he's pushing for them to be sacked. Stay with us here on Newsnight.
Hello!
and welcome to the MTN Weather Report. Minim says still, I'm not for and dry. But this year, whatever your needs are, we there for you. Now the details of my weather report. 15,000 cities will blow from the tropical boundaries across the country. We can also see a mist of fog patches of 25,000 cities and a heavy monetary downpour of 30,000 cities are a move to treat the dry season across the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you go, whether it be school fees or akasisem fees, we there for you. Rent advance, salary advance, your sorted advance, because with MTN, we there for you. Now keep talking, browsing, texting, and sending Momo to accumulate points and win prizes each month to cushion you this year in the MTN More For You promo. 80 dial *120 hash. Now check your points. We there for you everywhere you go.
Everybody make us see you do the dance. Do the dance.
We give you nothing but the best. We stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Let us help you bank with the right bank. At First National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a digital partner that actually understands your business. Enjoy massive value with our various banking solutions. Get a business check account, a day-to-day transactional account for all businesses from all sectors of the economy. Access our online banking enterprise and bank your way 24/7. Invest with our short or long-term options that enable immediate access to funds. Optimize your cash flow, raise capital, and acquire assets with ease with our lending solutions. Trade with speed, consistency, and innovation with our global payments and forex solutions. With so much value up for grabs, there is no reason not to bank with First National Bank. First National Bank. How can we help you?
You're welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, the Auditor General, Daniel Domelovu, says he's prepared to go the long haul in the fight for a total independence of the audit service. In the wake of his recent feud with his board, Mr. Domelovu accused the board chairman of the audit service, Professor Edward Duajiman, of unlawful interference of his mandate, a claim the board chairman rejects. That impasse between them is currently being investigated by a committee set up by the president. But a private citizen, Isaac Wilberforce Mensah, has filed a suit at the Supreme Court to seek interpretation into the extent of powers of the Auditor General. Speaking to Evans Mensah on PM Express last night, Mr. Domelovu says an out-of-court settlement is not an option in the fight for the independence of the audit service.
I have not received any threat, but I know that the risk is there. But you see, this world we are in, we must live with some risk. If you fear too much, you will die several times before your death actually comes. So, well, it is possible, but I think that for every one person who is targeting me, I think there are hundreds of people who are happy with what is happening, and that is my joy. My joy is that I'm just doing my work, and I pray every day that I should not use my office or abuse my office against anybody. It should just be of service. If in the course of 7, it disturbs you or I step on your toe, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. I just have to do my work. This is your job.
You just have to do it.
Yes, I just have to do it.
However, last year, you filed a petition, and you said in that petition that the chairperson of your board and some members of the board were interfering in aligning your work. In fact, you alleged that the board and its chairperson interfere with audit process, unlawfully circulating audit observation, and manipulating procurement processes. Do you still stand by these allegations?
Yes, I do stand by them. But I will plead with you that we don't go into it for 2 reasons. 1, they are not here. Secondly, this independence issue has been sent to the Supreme Court. It's better we don't go too much into it. And we pray that the Supreme Court rather come out with their position on it. then we can be free to talk.
About what happened.
Yeah. Let's wait.
I got the point about the people not being here. However, one of them had done an interview with the Daily Graphic, Professor Drajuma, in which he said, quote, "We tried to meet to resolve our differences, but he cancelled the planned meeting without our knowledge." That's what he alleges in that interview with Daily Graphic.
Yes.
That you cancelled the meeting. We're not interested in resolving
when we meet in court, I will give him the reason why I cancelled it.
So you agree? It's true that you cancelled it?
I did cancel it for a very good reason.
Which is what?
I will not tell you. I said I will say it in court.
Why can't you guys resolve this matter without resorting to the courts?
Let me say that it's good we go to the court because the two parties, we don't understand each other.
Okay.
My version, my understanding about the independence of the Auditor General is very different from what the board thinks. I go to the Constitution and I read it as it is. And I will say, read it for yourself and see what the Constitution says. They say, no, there's more to it than what they are doing, a purposeful interpretation of the Constitution, which I don't fault them for. I may be wrong, they may be wrong. So it's good we go to a neutral ground.
This hasn't crippled your institution's ability to work.
It has not
properly.
crippled it in any way at all.
Okay.
My board is one of the boards which meet very often in this country. So everything is fine.
Everything is fine. However, he talked about yesterday, MFA, about the extent of work he's doing to, disallow surcharge people. In fact, now working with Iyoko and the special prosecutor to now go after individuals he surcharged and disallowed. So I asked him whether people have made attempts to bribe him, just to slow him down a bit. This is his response.
No. Do I look like somebody who can be bribed? Even people know, as a matter of fact, that I've said no to even gifts.
Common gifts.
You can't come to my office with gift. A friend of mine, sorry for him, he came today and said he traveled abroad, he brought me a shirt. I said, sorry, use it yourself.
A shirt?
Yes, I said, use it yourself or give it to your children.
So if I give you a shirt, you accept?
I'm not going to take it.
But you don't have any business with me. You are not auditing me.
Yes, because I don't know your link with the people I'm auditing. The next time you appear, I say, Daniel, the shirt looks nice on you. But this, my friend, has a problem. And then...
So nobody has been bold enough to attempt?
No. They have attempted...
Indirectly or?
They've attempted giving me gifts, but I've rejected all. And believe you me, if you like, try it. Even you can't pass through my secretariat with a parcel, they will not allow you.
How? But you're not there.
Yes.
You don't know
because
what's happening.
I've told my secretariat that any parcel that you collect for and on my behalf, you will collect it, you take it to your home by yourself. You don't bring it to me.
But that could be, in essence, bribing your institution.
Well, my institution can be bribed, but I cannot be bribed. And officially, we are not allowed to bribe. And to be honest with you, if you accept gift in the performance of your job as an auditor, Section 33 of the Audit Service Act make it an offense. It is an offense for which you can go to prison for 2 years.
Oh, so it's not a misdemeanor?
No, it's a 2-year imprisonment, or I think about 500 penalty units, or both. So it's serious. Because as an auditor, you must live above a certain level of behavior.
I find it astonishing.
Yeah.
You say gift. Maybe these gifts have not been tempting enough.
Maybe you may have to enhance it and bring it and see whether it will be, it can get me. You may have to understand the chemistry and the nature of the person to see whether the gift can be tempted.
What is the nature and the chemistry of the person?
The person, wealth doesn't mean anything to me.
It doesn't?
Cash doesn't mean anything to me.
Why?
Otherwise, anybody who knows where I'm coming from will think I'm abnormal by leaving World Bank and taking this job.
You have a World Bank job, you turn it down for this job?
Exactly. I was in World Bank for 7 years. Left to come and do this job. This job cannot pay me a fifth of what World Bank was paying me. So why would you think that I will leave my genuine salary and come and be collecting bribe? The idea, the motivation is solely to serve my country. It's solely to establish a principle, a system, to say that this is how public service should be rendered. Full stop. We have 2 cases where people collected some monies in the course of doing their work. They didn't accept it as bribe. They claim it's not bribe. They said it was their transportation which was being paid. And the question is, who is responsible for paying your transportation? It is me, the employer, or Ghana Audit Service, which is responsible for paying your transportation. So why do we take it from the auditee? They are being investigated.
Have you suspended them whilst investigation?
No, we have not suspended.
Okay.
In fact, these cases have all gone to the board, and I'm waiting the board decision. And from my point of view, if the board agrees with me, they all go home. It's
all of them
sacked. It's as simple as that.
So you heard there the Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo.
And you haven't heard the last of that, because there's a lot of things he said that were new, novel, but also very aggressive. And things that they'll be doing this year that may be targeting private institutions. In fact, he mentions multimedia as well as an example of places that he may be spreading his tentacles into. So, yeah, I mean, you can't just cramp everything into one show. But, yeah, it's pretty exciting speaking to him.
It makes me wonder what's happening tonight on
PM
Express.
Tonight, the minority had march today, but there's a bigger conversation about depoliticizing state security.
Okay.
And the two main political parties in Parliament seem to be divided on exactly what to do about the problem that we witnessed last week. So we are bringing them together and have in the middle civil society and confront the issue, I guess, on depoliticizing state security.
So you know by now that your evenings are never the same if you're not watching or listening to PM Express. It's also live on Facebook, live on Joy News Channel or Multi TV, 9 p.m.
to 10.
Yeah, with Evans Mensah. Do stay.
Hans Mensah Ando.
Evans Mensah. I've been smiling all through that interview and wondering, for we the sports people, we could do with a character like that.
Yeah.
Normalization.
Wait till you hear him say that he is a dangerous man.
No, we could do with a character like that. I'm sure all football-loving persons
in this country,
in Ghana would agree with me.
We'll clean the system.
A character like that on the normalization. That is, I mean, not to downplay the integrity of the persons on the committee.
I agree with you 100%. So there was one part of the interview, he started narrating things that he's going to do this year. People he's trying to go after, private, corporate, powerful houses. And I'm like, aren't you afraid? He said, me, afraid. I'm a dangerous man. And I'm Daniel. I go into the lion's den. You like, dare me. And the kind of things I can play with fire. You know, that's the kind of person he is. Absolutely. And he's not, and he's actually walking the talk. He's training people to go after private people this year. More of this in the coming days.
What do you have in sports? Now, Kumasi Asante Kotoko head coach CK Akono insists they must win their next CAF Confederations Cup game to stay in the race for a place in the next round. Kotoko are back from Sudan, where they narrowly lost to Al Hilal in their opening group game. For CK Akono, though, the only way out is to win the next game on the 13th of February.
We have to win. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's all about win. Yeah, winning a bit higher. But I don't want to put pressure on the boys. They must be free. They must have the liberty to play, to express themselves with ideas. We have to win.
That's Asante Kotoko head coach CK Akono. That's your sports.
Thank you very much, Hans Mensah Ando. And today marks exactly 1 year the licensed cocoa buyers have been speaking. You know, the Ghana plays an injunction. Actually plays an injunction on Joy News documentary Missing Kilos, detailing alleged plain theft of cocoa beans by produce clerks. Anti-graft agency Ghana Integrity Initiative is of the view that the case has been at the court for too long and it's not helpful. The licensed cocoa buyers on 5th February last year filed a case at the High Court, arguing that a greater hardship will befall them if the documentary is left to air in its current state. The investigative report compiled by Kwete Nate documented what is suspected to be a notorious and widespread practice of deliberate adjustment of measuring scales to rob cocoa farmers of tons of cocoa beans. Corporate Affairs Manager of GI, Michael Bwedi, is questioning why the licensed cocoa buyers are seeking to prevent the public from viewing that piece.
We need to ask ourselves, are all the law enforcement agencies, from investigation, prosecution, and adjudication, are we all in sync? That is to say, to ensure that we root out corruption. I don't know. And I don't want to hazard a guess, because once we all have that resolve that we want to fight corruption, I believe allowing cases to drag on in court will not be happening, because we all know that if we expeditiously dispense justice, we are likely to save the nation quite a lot of money. But if we delay and drag it, say the time value of money is not, so I don't want to speak specifically to any issue as yet, but generally would want to say that it is not helpful, but I will want to hope that it is for a good reason. That is why it's being dragged. Either anything short of that, then we are shortchanging the state.
In this regard, what would be your proposal?
I believe, we can send a petition to the Chief Justice. I don't believe that injunction could be placed in perpetuity on the airing or on some journalistic work. I am not too sure whether that is the position of the law. We should be able to go back to the court and find out, ask what does the person who put the injunction or the person who injuncted the airing, what does he seek to achieve, and how does the airing affect anything?
So that's Michael Brady there with GII. Let's bring in Samson Ladayeni, his lawyer handling this case for us. Joins us on the telephone line right now. So Samson, what's the update on this case?
Okay, to start with, there's a fundamental error. There's no injunction on the matter. They attempted the injunction. They got thrown out on the injunction. So, injunction, is over. Except that we have sought to have the case completely dismissed for not being meritorious, so to speak, a fate that I suffered in the court this morning. Now, on the basis of that, they had an issue that the judge had ruled against them on their injunction first, rather than ruling on dismissal of their suit, which we had challenged. Now, they have gone to the Court of Appeal, challenging the decision to have heard or to have ruled on the injunction first rather than the dismissal of the entire case first. After filing the appeal in the Court of Appeal, everything was normal. We're going to go ahead nonetheless because there was no injunction against us. And then they went to the Supreme Court, filed another process. It's called a certiorari. They are seeking the Supreme Court to quash the decision of the High Court judge in determining the injunction first rather than determining our application to dismiss the suit first. I mean, all of that is a bit of, it's a bit murky. And the High Court now, obviously, because the matter is pending in the Court of Appeal and pending on a different leg in the High Court, in the Supreme Court, the process will have to grind, and the High Court is unable to proceed further.
Yeah.
But there's no injunction.
Okay, so I'm grateful that you joined us. We just had a challenge with the line. It keeps breaking on us, but I'm grateful with that update. No injunction. We're currently pursuing an attempt to have the case struck out entirely. There's another case that was in court today and has to do with Charlotte Osei.
And the editor-in-chief of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, Kweku Baku, says though he disagrees with the Apex Courts to dismiss a case challenging the removal of Charlotte Osei as chairperson of the Electoral Commission, he accepts the verdict. The 7-member panel, presided over by Justice Julius Ansah, ruled that the case by ace journalist Kweku Baku raises no issues for constitutional interpretation or enforcement. Mr. Baku had argued that the grounds stated for the removal of Charlotte Osei, which bordered mainly on procurement breaches, had nothing to do with her core functions as chairperson of the EC. Now, he's a man we call the maestro, the music man, Kojoenchi. And on February 14, Evans, I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
On February 14, you fall in love all over again. I know.
He will sing that lovely song you request for your partner, the Kempinski Hotel. It's all contained in the Love Ride Valentine package for that's your superstation, Joy 99.7 FM has put together.
Well, this extravaganza celebrity-filled Valentine's Day dinner is set to keep you and your partner glued and intimate throughout the night and of course for the rest of the year. Well, that's my romantic voice. What else is in store for you that night? Well, we'll soon hear from the man himself, but first, what is your favorite Kojoenchi song?
Me drofu power you leve. Me drofu power you leve. Let me add here because I can start causing blunders.
Miyantabana kime tumo ko don chain. Ah, what the mule? I'm not.
Dianu mai. Bejimi lete ko ma odo. Dianu mai. Bejimi lete.
Afra front. Can you help me?
Afra Franta, yeah. Oh, then I hope I just dream me, yeah. So that is what I can say for now.
Give me your own rendition of your favorite Kojoenchi song.
Minyantaba, come to my code on chain. I want to you. And then Imrika.
What is America?
Oh, you don't know Emeka.
What is America?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. All day, Odomugu Awuro, Odomugu Awuro. Evidie Sikado.
Okay.
Evidie Ahofedo. You want me to continue?
A lot of people are sleeping right now, but please wake up because Kojenchi does the song in reality.
14th of February, I believe all the love songs I've written are made for that beautiful night, and I have a feeling we're good. I've been to the place twice, thinking of what am I going to do now, and I'm still working it. I believe I like to have a whole lot of surprises. I'm planning something. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know
there
will
will be
good.
something.
Definitely. So I want people to feel special. I want people to come and Baba Show Dumudi.
Watch out for that surprise Kojenchi is working out for you. Log on to myjoyland.com on how to win the chance to wine, dine, and dance the night away. But you can come to the front decks of JoyFM to pick a ticket for only 800 Ghana cedis for you and your partner. You know, I can really do a good late night show, you know? Yeah. Linto. As my grandma would say. But yeah, you need to make a date. You're going, right?
Yeah,
800 cedis.
Once I get a partner, but I would for just Kojenchi, I can pay that 800 and just go by myself.
This is the thing you said first is what you actually meant. You want a partner to pay for you.
No,
that's all.
No, I'm not going to pay like
no,
you.
But that's what you said. You want a partner. Once you get a partner, the partner will pay for you.
Why not? I'm worth much more than 800 Ghana cedis. Am I not?
No way. The partner will pay for you.
And that's it for tonight's edition of News Night. I am MFAPO.
My name is Evan Spencer.
I'm in open work on